Mark? Are you in here? Mark?
The pack is back. Now everybody knows Pac-Man, right? He's undoubtedly one of the most iconic characters in all of gaming. Heck, one of the most iconic characters of all time. In terms of character design, he's as simple as you can get. Pizza with a slice taken out. And while later iterations of the Man of Pac added more and more details such as his Pac-Man world design, they still kept his simpleness intact. It's unsurprising that they made a lot of media starring Pac-Man, including the 1982 television series Pac-Man. That's it, that's the title.
This is a wrench! It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it!
Now you may be thinking, how do you take such a basic concept like a ball collecting dots in a maze while avoiding ghosts and turn it into a TV show? Well, you don't, but that didn't stop them from trying. Twice.
Oh man, I'm a meme!
Despite being such a popular character, in the mid to late 2000s, Pac-Man kinda disappeared from mainstream media, aside from a few random handheld spin-off games. He was still a popular character, but like Mickey Mouse, Namco more so used him as a mascot rather than making standalone media starring him. But in the 2010s, we got a reimagining of a classic gaming franchise that had long lost relevancy, in an attempt to reach out to a wider market, focusing on kids. They gave the characters a slight redesign, and dropped them into a new world with different characters and lore, and was released alongside a TV show and video game that released for Wii U. It was called Sonic Boom. I'm joking of course, but the similarities between these two are bizarre. Just what am I talking about? Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Released in 2013, this was Namco's attempt at reinventing the Pac-Man franchise for a new generation. It failed miserably. Today I'll be looking at the main focus of the franchise, the TV series, to see just why this new endeavour with such a massive marketing campaign behind it failed so badly. The show stars the usual Pac-Man characters we all know and love. The classic ghosts Inky, Blinky, Pinky and Clyde, with our main man Pac-Man. Along with them we've got some brand new characters like Cylindria and Spiralton and Circumference. Get it? Like a circle. They all live in Pacopolis, a city in Pac-World, with their Pac pets, eat their Pac food, drink their Pac drinks, go to Pac schools, pack their Pac. Alongside the regular world there is the Nether Realm, which Pac-Man accidentally opens a portal to in the first episode. This unleashes the ghosts upon their world, ruled by Betrayus, the president of Pacopolis' dead brother. Because of this, the president allows Pac-Man to access their power pellets, which allows him to utilise different powers to help meet the ghosts. And definitely wasn't added for more toy opportunities, after they realised there are barely any marketable Pac-Man characters. To be fair, on paper this sounds like a decent attempt at fleshing out the Pac-Man universe for a TV show, but in execution? Well, let's start at the story. Like I mentioned before, each episode revolves around the daily activities of Pac-Man and his friends, going to school and saving the world from the ghosts that come through a portal within a maze. Now, despite the introduction being a two-parter with a relatively serious story, after that it goes for a more episodic approach, and gets a lot more lighthearted, with silly little adventures starring Pac-Man and gang, like dealing with Pac-Intine's Day, Independence Day, and... Alright, that's enough of that. I think that was for the better though. Sure, it creates a major tonal shift between episodes, and even within the episodes themselves, but we really don't need a dark, serious Pac-Man. They never really fixed this tone issue as the series went on, and other times we see our hero having to deal with going back in time to witness the Pac-World War that eventually killed his parents. Well, that's fine I guess, if the stories want to be their own self-contained adventures then I'm cool with that. A good group of characters should be able to work in any setting and scenario. So how does this cast fare? Not well. Pac-Man is your generic young hero. He's kind of an idiot but knows when to take things seriously and get into action. I find it weird that they chose to make him a kid, since in all other media he's portrayed as an adult with a wife and a kid of his own, but they also try to imply that this is actually a descendant of the OG Pac-Man, but they don't really get into it much. He's a fine protagonist, again if a little generic, but my main issue with him is the voice.
Next time I'm bringing a GPS and a midnight snack.
It sounds like KO, not Pac-Man. Then we've got his brand new friends, Cylindria and Spiralton, or as I like to call them, Dumb and Girl. They've got no chemistry at all. I don't even know why they're friends. They show in the first episode that Pac and Spiral are already good friends, but then Cylindria only becomes friends with them because her ex-boyfriend bullied Pac, I think? It's also implied at times that she likes him, but she's a strong independent woman who don't need no man, so she doesn't tell him. Also, don't ask why she's dressed like an emo chick, she's more of a tomboy if anything. I guess it's hard to portray that with such a simple design base though. There are some other notable Pac residents like the scientist Circumference who provides the gang with weapons and gadgets. Then there's the mayor who calls them when the city is under attack, but there's nothing to say about them, they're just there. The villain Betrayus, despite having a not so subtle name, is one of the best parts of the show honestly. Sure, the trope of powerful villain who turns out to be pathetic and incompetent has been done time and time again, but I think they do a decent job of it here, compared to everyone else at least. And it's so obvious that his voice actor is trying really hard to do an Invader Zim impression, and it works well for his character.
Greetings, Pac-Worlders! It's your mortal enemy, Lord Betrayus, coming to you live, so to speak, from the Nether Realm!
He's also got his henchman, Butler. Tells you everything you need to know. Finally, we've got the main 4 ghosts, who have all been redesigned and given their own personalities in order to stand apart from each other. Although instead of being bad guys, after the first episode they become friends with Pac-Man and work as double agents to let him know what's going on in the Nether. It's a cool take on these characters, I suppose. But again, their personalities are so one note and they never try to go beyond the simple archetypes of leader, cocky, girl, and fat. These characters are definitely not complemented by the way they're animated either. It's not bad, but like most CG shows, they have a really nicely animated first episode, then followed up with an immediate decline with blander lighting and rendering. The city they live in looks alright, but the weird futuristic white and blue aesthetic gets a bit boring after a while. They go to a food court in an episode and I remember thinking, oh my god, that's right, colour is a thing. It looked like it would have been fun to be a prop designer in this show. It's quite impressive how many Pac-themed items they were able to throw in, especially the food. Beyond the locations and props, the character animation is pretty good at times. The facial expressions are almost non-existent, but the way they move and interact with the world is pretty good. For the most part. I'm gonna give the animators the benefit of the doubt. These characters don't look like they'd be easy to animate into real world situations like, "Sir, how do we make them sit down in the ride? Their bodies make it impossible." Just let them stand, it'll be fine. It probably didn't help that almost every non-ghost character suffers from this. They all look basically the same, like the designer just pulled up some base off DeviantArt. Fans were outraged initially at the redesign for Pac-Man, and it's still pretty heated to this day.
Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures 2? Just what the frick, Namco? Because Pac-Man used to be something before all of this.
From what I understand, Namco put out a poll showing a bunch of different designs, and this is the one that won? Look at these, they all look infinitely better and way more stylized than what we ended up with. Pac-Man's got himself some snazzy new eyeballs, and shoes that look like they'd be a better fit in a Sonic character. It comes off as adding unnecessary details for the sake of looking different. Like the eyes I get. It's kinda hard to understand the emotion and connect with these black holes on his face, but the overly detailed gloves and shoes just look dumb on him. And the rest of the designs don't do a good job at portraying their personalities. Probably because they've barely got personalities, which shouldn't be an issue. To compare it to Sonic Boom again, all the characters in that are simple one-note stereotypes, but I don't care because the show manages to be consistently entertaining and funny. But I just can't say that about this show. Each episode drags on for a painfully long time where they desperately try to pad it out for 22 minutes. These could have easily worked as 11-minute stories and probably would have been better because of it. But then they have episodes that feel like they should go on for even longer and we get multiple parters that don't feel like they have any business being so long. So here we've got a bland story in a bland world inhabited by a bland set of characters. Can't say I'm surprised that this show failed to take off. The one somewhat redeemable factor of the show is the amount of references to the original Pac-Man that they managed to shove in, like scattering pixel art of the characters around the world, the maze that leads to the Nether Realm being a recreation of the maze from the game, and the little jingle that plays at the start of the intro.
The Pac is back, ghost chomping at his feet. Pac's our hero, Pac just can't be beat, yeah!
Now that I listen to it, I'm kinda sad that they've now tainted the catchy song by putting it in with this horrendous intro theme. The show lasted 3 seasons and quickly faded from public consciousness, and it seems that Namco have now reverted back to using the original Pac-Man world design.
And I'm not gonna support this game at all. I'm not gonna support Namco at all because they're poo merchants now, and all they care about is the green stuff. All they care about is the money. Oh, the money.
Which is honestly for the best. I appreciate the effort in trying to reinvent the franchise for a new generation, but this isn't the way to do it. Wait. What's that? Alright, so I didn't want to put it at the start of the video, so I'll just put it at the end. My pop base has officially launched. You can go check it on the App Store now, and on there you can watch videos like my old unlisted commentary videos with some added, like, director's commentary, I guess. On top of it, you can see my reactions to new movie trailers. You can also suggest reactions and shows you want me to talk about. It's really cool. You can do quizzes I made. I would recommend go check it out if you want to consider supporting the channel. So, thanks for listening.